The death of the American dream is in evidence everywhere one looks these days. Dead Horse Lake is part of a large open-field experiment, a dumping ground for estrogen mimickers to feminize the populace into watching Aubrey Dominique's makeup tutorials rather than Truth Quest. You could chalk up 23 oil spills in the last 5 years to incompetence, sure. But I think you should open your minds to the idea that these were planned events. The beast of the bottomless pit, Moloch. Everything is energy, even physical matter. So maybe, if we all focus our minds on the destruction of this unholy weapon, it will happen. These orcas clearly are united with to undermine Western interests. Like heroic Neo, the shark has freed us from the Matrix. Now, we can unplug from the metal coils that once enslaved us, leave our mechanical caves, and greet this new dawn of truth. It's been 90 days since my last Truth Quest broadcast. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering where I've been. Well, for the past year or so, I've been partaking daily of ayahuasca. In fact, the very concept of Truth Quest came to me during a powerful vision. It was during my last vidcast that I experienced what my wife described as a psychotic break. The next day, she and my son Steven staged a family intervention. Well, I'm happy to report that since then, I've filed for divorce. Now I have time to dedicate myself to my true calling. Questers, we know that reality is just a mirage. Somewhere through the crack between time and space, great cosmic truths remain, still awaiting discovery. These are the obscure and unmarked points along the road of our Truth Quest. This city, like so many across our once great country, has become an Agenda 21 cesspool. Knows what he did. The insectoids have worked hard to ensure that they and their conspirators continue to occupy Port Clovis's positions of power, such as Planning Commission Director Steve Traeger. I, for one, am glad the shark has purged my fan base of pernicious outsiders secretly plotting to harm my reputation. Love books, but don't love to read? Autolist.com has over 150,000 titles you can start listening to today, like Larry Brian Zeifman's Y2K, Return of the Ultimate Threat. Was an insectoid hologram. I saw the image flickering as he was rendered limb by limb. Apropos of nothing, I'd just like to say that the Warren Commission was a total farce. They're even wearing my own branded apparel. Get off the water grid with Raw Force Raw Water. 100% unfiltered. naturally infused with focused life forces like E. coli and Giardia. Raw corpse. Drink it raw. You see a lighthouse. I see a monument to the engorged phallus of Osiris the Sun God. Uranium-235 test subject, the irradiated Shadow Orca. All these recent oil spills are merely contrived events designed to cripple the Gulf's fishing industry. Another insectoid in human's clothing. We are in a time of great tribulation, and the gates of your gated communities will not save you. Regarding these spills, I'm proposing complicity on the part of Mayor Wade Hibbert. You see, Hibbert owns 50 shares in Schlumberger, who's owned by Execo, who are partners with Saxwell Gold in Varcon, the manufacturer of oil dispersant emulsifiers. Therefore, Hibbert made money on the The Predator perhaps could improve her streamline. Such beautiful, controlled movements. A source close to the Army Corps of Engineers, and wow, such speed and control. That anal fin is really important as a vertical stabilizer. Apropos of nothing, with the clock ticking, there's little time to make up for errors. To quote the title of my favorite early 2000s teen thriller, that turned me into a swim fan. I'm also currently doing a liver detox. John cries out, enough of the lies and deceit! With the swipe of her tail, the big fish sweeps back the enemy's dark, illuministic maneuvers. Destroy their hellish evil. Prince, an inner voice has told me to share this revelation. Australia does not exist.
Somebody tell me good.
Probably right under me.
Think I need a new prescription.
Ready, set, go! Some speed work and endurance training would really enhance the shark's performance potential. This is a race against time, and she's already losing. By reducing drag, the shark can make a minimum energy investment for a maximum speed return. Well, guess I owe my bookie $300. This is getting tense. What ferocity! Perhaps she could book some one-on-one sessions with a USA swimming certified coach. Dominant performance thus far. The shark works her tail like a duck. Sharks looking quite confident. Look at the technique. She's really transferring her muscle power from her body to the water. Swimming is an ancient discipline, and this shark has it mastered. For our crew to earn the shark hunter's trust, to convince them that we're not insurance investigators questioning their disability claims. Hold on. A new inside source is uploading me with information. Oh, it's a photo of two homeless men in an alley in there. Oh, never mind.
What we got? Anything?
Does this smell unusual, or is that just poor clothing? Anybody got a good set of needle-nose pliers? Anybody else see that? Does this smell unusual, or is that just poor clothing?
The hunt is over, and there will be an inevitable rush on dollar drafts at Flamingo Joe's. Here in Golden Sands, the wealthy global elite solidifies its power base. To acquire this great white superpower, you'll escape high-energy radiation, such as the Van Allen radiation. Further evidence that this fish is not... The shark bursts right out of the gate. This predator really needs to push the pace. This is actually going quite well. This is why it's so important when swim training to practice your positioning. Sure, but can she repeat that performance in the 2024 Paris Games? And away we go. Look at the determination. We could be witnessing the rise of the next superstar athlete. She looks full of adrenaline. Impressive. But how do you think she'd fare in the 200-meter backstroke? Fort Lotus is most disreputable citizen. going on with my viewer count?
Control techno-fascist. I will not be silent.
Can't hide. All damn day. She gotta be somewhere out here. She's close. She's real close. Should have brought my fish finder. Well, I'm sure the shark's dead.
The battle is over, but the war goes on.
You know me. Rather be sipping Bahama Mamas at Flamingo Joe's.
Am I just fucking thing?
Come on now. Hell, I don't know. Maybe she's scared of us.
It's hurting me. I know it.
We're getting called back.
With little fanfare, another bounty hunt comes to a close. Hunters return to their normal routine of bouncing checks. Free speech prohibitions are right around the corner, friends. Violators will be imprisoned.
Follow me. Oh, come on now. I just know she's near. I really should get some polarized lenses.
Dead Horse Lake, like most American bodies of water, has abnormal levels of aluminum, barium, and strontium. That's why you need the complete body cleansing power of Detoxinator Premium Ultra, only from Survival.
Flamingo Joe's. Them Applebee's are on me, boys.
The powers of society have retaliated with deterrent action, but mankind is ultimately impotent to stop Mother Nature's advances. an embedded chip. The insectoids are using a brain-to-brain interface to wirelessly operate the sharks.
Wait, is that?
Gotta be somewhere.
And we have started. Earlier, Dawdling has this fish looking fatigued. I haven't witnessed such a fiery performance since Christina Egger-Zaghi at the '92 Summer Games. That shark just earned her PhD in race science. Wait, hold on, that came out. Love books, but don't love to read? Autolisk.com has over 150,000 titles you can start listening to today. Like Larry Brian Zeifman's Y2K, Return of the Ultimate Friend. The shark explodes off the blocks. This is not an optimal race race. This is such a treat for all you die-hard swim fanatics. The shark's swimming form has really started to deteriorate. This fish really needs a second wind. The big fish masterfully demonstrates how to splash and dash. B17 is the miracle cancer cure that the mainstream medical establishment doesn't want you to know about. Why don't they want you to know about it? Because technically it's cyanide. And while cyanide may be toxic to you, it's even more toxic to cancer. That's why Apple, America's leading B17 supplement manufacturer, is finally asking the question, isn't it time to rethink cyanide? Another one off the enemy. The shark blasts down with an unbelievable suck. The shark exhibits incredible maneuverability. Notice how she positions her fins at different angles, altering the flow of the water around her. This could be one for the record. What a feat of fastness. And so we begin. The shark's dorsal helps her keep balance as she moves through the water. A slight bodily adjustment might decrease her drag. The shark doesn't appear to be in swimming shape. Just like a quote of the day calendar, that was inspiring. This may look like a friendly local bait shop, but it's actually a satanic temple of death, terror, and animal sacrifice. Mark my words, the Orcas are trying to set up a puppet balloon, with its main purpose being the annexation of Port Clovis. Do you feel it? This whole island is saturated with the most vile forms of interplanetary wickedness. spite of many recent adaptations, it's still vital that the shark keeps its gills moist and buoyant. I'm sure if she's feeding my followers, she probably has a reason.
She's come to say hi.
Maybe that was the guy who gave me the false intel. about the Bolivian bioweapon attack on Orlando.
She's coming up.
You could chalk up 23 oil spills in the last 5 years to incompetence, sure. But I think you should open your minds to the idea that these were planned events.